Hey gang, wonder if the iPhone 15 Pro Max is for you? Stick with me in this video as I break down some of the basics as I recently upgraded to this amazing phone. We're talking about the updated design and build quality, awesome camera stuff that even I understand. Can the battery keep up with my day-to-day needs? I'm not gonna cover the unboxing experience. If you're interested in that, check this video. Got questions? Let's dive into this video on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Before we get going, I'd like to mention one thing. For most of this video, I'll be comparing the iPhone 15 Pro Max to my previous phone, which was the iPhone 12 Pro Max. For some of you, you might be thinking, why this comparison? However, based on market research here in the US, the average consumer keeps their phone for a little less than 3 years. So if you do the math backwards, that means most of you that are considering an upgrade are most likely coming from either an iPhone 13 or 12 Pro Max, just like me. Okay, the first thing to cover is the phone's overall design. As far as the overall design goes, there's a couple things that stuck out to me right away. This phone has 4 gorgeous titanium finishes. The phone has the dynamic island. For those that may not be aware, this provides a picture-in-picture-like experience. This can change with every single app, hence the name dynamic. In other words, the functions can change depending on the app. The mute/silent button has been replaced with an action button. The lightning cable has been replaced in favor of a USB-C connection. Of course, better cameras. Now let's dive deeper into cameras. Okay, I will say for this video, this is probably going to be the most, technical portion of the video. But I promise to break it down so that way everybody can understand what's going on here. The main camera is 12 megapixels. This provides clear photos and optical image stabilization. It also has an ultra-wide camera that is also 12 megapixels for wide-angle shots. A 2x telephoto camera that's 12 megapixels for zooming with stabilization. And lastly, 4 times optical zoom range. Okay, let's discuss the iPhone 15 Pro Max next. So now we have the main camera that's 48 megapixels for detailed photos and optical image stabilization. Ultra-wide camera that's 12 megapixels for wide-angle shots. 2x telephoto camera that's 12 megapixels for zooming with stabilization. 5x telephoto camera that's 12 megapixels for zooming with stabilization. So for overall zooming, 5 times optical zoom in, 2 times optical zoom out, and digital zoom up to 25 times. So now we're going to talk about some things that are the same between both phones. Both have night mode and HDR. Both have 4K video recording at various frame rates, HDR recording and stabilization. However, the iPhone 15 Pro Max has cinematic mode. The front camera on both is 12 megapixels that supports night mode and supports 4K HDR video. Let's summarize the key differences. The iPhone 15 Pro Max main camera is 48 megapixels compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max's main camera that's 12 megapixels. The iPhone 15 Pro Max has a 5 times telephoto camera, providing better zoom capability compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max at 4x. With that out of the way, let's talk battery life. One of the things that I always get excited about when getting a new phone is battery life. I won't bore you with the technical jargon on this one. I'm just gonna give you my thoughts based on my personal experience. I say that because everybody uses their phone differently. Most of the time, I'm sending emails, checking text messages, sending Teams messages and Teams calls, playing music or listening to a podcast, interacting with my smart home. Recently, I purchased a Tesla, so my phone functions as my key as well. That's about it. Wait, there's one more thing that I do. I use the YouTube Studio app to check and see how the channel is doing. So if you're getting value out of this video, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for future content. So personally, I get through an entire day without issues. Now, I will admit I have access to wireless chargers at home, at work, and in my car. More so out of habit than necessity, I will occasionally throw my phone on the charger. This is normally no more than 30 minutes at a time. The longest stretch is normally during my commute to and from work. I will say the additional battery capacity you get with this phone is worth it. I had one major hiccup with the phone related to wireless charging when I first got it. What I discovered was a new feature that Apple rolled out with iOS 17 that was causing my issue. In the settings menu, go to battery health and charging, and I had to turn off the option for clean energy charging. I try my best to be green, but I do need my phone to work when I need it. This feature is all about charging your phone during times of the day when the energy grid is the cleanest. The issue is this may not work with your day-to-day needs. Okay, that wraps it up for the battery discussion. So what are the overall cons of this phone? This first con may actually surprise you, and for me it's lightning cables. Although so many devices use USB-C nowadays, I quickly realized I didn't have those cables in places where I most commonly use my phone. This actually makes it more annoying that the AirPod Pro Maxes still have a lightning cable. This last one is bittersweet, and that's the action button. Now, I do like the action button. There's a lot you can do with it. Future video coming. But I do miss being able to pick up my phone and without turning on the display, being able to see if you're in silent mode or not. These things are annoying, but in my opinion, they aren't deal breakers. Overall, I think the iPhone 15 Pro Max is an amazing phone, especially for someone whose current phone is right around that 3-year mark. I think you're going to be impressed with the build quality. You're going to love the improved camera system, and the larger battery capacity is going to keep you connected all day long. That wraps it up. Until the next one.